All right, so attempt one, not being very successful. It feels like it wants to strip out, so I put the penetrating, I switched from, what you call it, liquid wrench to regular penetrating oil. And it just feels like it wants to strip out, so I've tapped it with the hammer. I tapped lightly on the, whatchamacallit, the bolt head, and I'm gonna try maybe like a little chisel on it and see if that works. But I think what I'm gonna have to do is do a lot of that hurry up and wait, just like, okay, put the oil, penetrating oil on it, and then wait. You know, like sometimes you wait a day. I've played this game before. If it takes me 3 days to get this bolt off, these 3 bolts off, so be it. You know, it's just if I snap one, it's just like it's game over. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a delicate operation. Like for something that should be really, really simple, but when you're talking a 16-year-old vehicle, simple just doesn't cut it. So just these guys down here, and that one there. I don't know if I get my camera's low enough, but yeah. Who would think that would be such a pain in the ass? I didn't try the lower bolts yet. I think just judging by the rust that's on them, I'll let the penetrating oil do its thing. Sometimes it takes a day or two. You know, like it's like I have no tools. Oh, that's not good. Fire truck. I have no tools other than like regular sockets. So if I snap a bolt off, I really screw up the truck, right? Because I won't be able to go anywhere with it just hanging there, right? So no free lunch on this one, that unfortunately. Go figure. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call. I guess I have to call that Ryan's Garage. I have 2 options here. Option A, I tow the truck to there, and if it makes it there, no problem. But it's like $500, right? So, and there's no guarantee that I'm going to fix the problem. Option 2, I attempt to drive it there, and if I break down halfway or whatever, it's just that's a really deadly highway to be driving on. But if I make it, no problem, then I save the towing. And I can put that money into actually just fixing the problem. Or I wait another 2 weeks and then get more money and it's just drive it the way it is for now, and maybe that's what I have to do. You know what I mean? Like just live with it the way it is and pray I don't die in the process of driving the truck, because it doesn't do it all the time, right? So I'll have to gamble. I think that's where I'm going to be at. I'm going to have to gamble with it, and until I can get it. Like there's just not a single, like there's a mechanic right there. You know what I mean? And it's like no, too busy. It is so frustrating. You know, like. Because that wouldn't be so bad, you know. You break down in the town, like, you know, like if I break, like just from here, like not even a 2-minute drive, literally not even 2 minutes, maybe a minute and a half from my lane to that would still be $250 just for the basic, just for the call. You know what I mean? So it's like you don't get left with a lot of options. What I'm gonna do. Because I don't have the torches to get any heat in there. That's the whole thing. Like, well, just do this. Yeah, but I don't have the tools, guys. You know, like that's the problem. That's the whole problem. I got a socket set, and if it can't come off with a socket set, especially when like you can look at the bolt, it just feels like once it strips once, like, you know what I mean? Like once that socket slips once, that's it. It's like game over. You rarely, you know, like, but if it's strong enough to make the socket slip, you know the bolt's seized in there pretty good, because it's only at 25 pounds. You should be able to, a baby could take that off, right? If it's just 25 pounds, but it might as well, with it seized, the bolt seized in there, it might as well be 500 pounds. So what I think I'm going to do today is just penetrate oil, tap on it, see if I can tap them all, see if I can get a screwdriver, just kind of tap around the rim of it. Because if you get the oil in there, a lot of times that'll do it. But the bolt could be seized the whole way in, and I don't have screw extractors and stuff like that to take that out. Like the 2 critical bolts, like I'm sure if I took it to the garage, they're just going to cut them off. pull it out and then use the extractors to take out the, you know, they'll just put the gun on it if it does, with a socket extractor and bolt extractor, and if that breaks off the head, then they'll just drill it out and, you know, tap it or whatever. Is what it is. So $106 an hour for a job that should only take about 25 minutes. You know what I mean? But I'm already been at it probably half an hour. I haven't, like, you know, I got the socket on one, you can, you know, like it's C solid. So all I can do is kind of like prepare it for the mechanic to take it off. So I'll try again maybe tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Sunday, because it's supposed to rain. Unless it's going to rain 3 days straight or whatever. But till the next dry day, and then I'll see if I can, you know, I'll just keep plugging away with it. Because if I can do it myself, I can save a lot of money that I don't have. You know what I mean? Like it's like, life is hard. Life is very hard for people right now. It's like I do get paid today from the Ditch of Doom, which is going to be a nice chunk, but I was anticipating 2 days pay off of that, but I only got 1 day work out of it. So it's like, okay, so I don't quite have as much as I thought I was going to have, which I do have the money to work on the truck, but the problem is most of that money would be sucked up by the towing. And if it requires, you know, like, you want to have $1,000 sitting there for a $50 job, because a $50 job always turns into a $250 job, right? It's just the way the cookie crumbles. And with mechanic work, like, I saw like a really good analogy, guy talking about like a carpenter shop or whatever. Oh, here's a simple little project. The guy's, you know, like, the guy has every tool known to man, right? And it's like, yeah, it's like Shady Tree Mechanic. Yeah, they, you know, like, bolts like that don't bug them because they got 50 screw extractors and bolt head extractors. They just tap it out, drill. You know, they got every jig to do it. When you have to work on stuff by yourself outside, between the raindrops and the flies, it's a total different thing. And I don't even have air tools, right? So, and if you put an air ratchet on that, there's a good chance it's just going to break the head bolt head off anyway. Yeah, you'll get the thing off, but then you have to, how do you get the bolts out, right? And that's what I'm more worried about, is how do you get the bolts out? And then I got to find 4 bolts. You know what I mean? That's another problem. It's like, why would they have not put the 4 bolts in with that? So I got to see if I can get 4 new bolts for it. And then, like I say, it must be one of those jobs that every mechanic says, no, it's too much of a pain in the ass and a nightmare. But like, there's not a single mechanic except for one guy. But you know, he didn't, like, I didn't quite know the problem 100% myself at the time. Now that I do, I'll probably call him and he'll say, oh, we don't do that kind of work. I'm about to find that out. So I'm going to call, see what's what. Yeah, because, like, you know, like, I got to figure out how I'm going to do this, right? Because I can't keep driving like that. Like, at some point, I'm going to damage the vehicle. You know what I mean? It's half paid for itself, which is not really the issue. It's the issue that as soon as that vehicle is fucked beyond belief, sorry for the language, then I got to go buy another vehicle, which will take me 3 to 4 years to get. I just don't have the money, you know. Say, well, just lease. If I had the money for leases or like to buy a new vehicle, don't you think I would have done that? Yeah. No, I got to use the older stuff. Like, I am getting better vehicles, but it's like I got to build my way to it, right? So there's no free lunch. So it's frustrating. Right now, the money's on the liquid wrench to do the job. And I guess all I can really do right now is just keep tapping on the bolts, see if I could tap around with a screwdriver to break that crust of rust. And if that works, great. If not, then, you know, like, at least it might come out, like, by the time I get it to the mechanic, there might be enough. And everybody's saying the same thing, like, you know, like, put like penetrating oil on it for like a week. And I've done this with wheel bolts. I've done this with all kinds of stuff before. And it usually does take about a week before it seeps through. So But I'll keep trying on it. Anyway, there we go. That's where I'm at.